And we are continuing with the Topmost Yoga System by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So page number 34. This human form is especially meant for coming to that standard of spiritual life by tapasya, by voluntarily rejecting the materialistic way of life. In the history of India, there were many great kings like Bharat Maharaj, who even at a very young age practiced tapasya. Bharat Maharaj, at the age of only 24, left his young wife, young children, and the whole empire Bharatavarsha, and went to the forest for meditation. There are many such instances. Prahlad Maharaj was questioned by his father Hiranyakashipu. Who has taught you this Krishna consciousness? A king's son does not mix with anyone else. He simply takes lessons from the appointed teachers. How is it then that this boy, who was only 5 years old, was so Krishna conscious? His father was surprised, so he asked him, "How have you taken to Krishna consciousness?" The answer was, "My dear father, Krishna consciousness cannot be achieved by a person like you, whose job is always simply to enjoy this material world." Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu means softly cushioned bed. Materialistic life is spent chewing the chewed. Take, for instance, a father. A father knows that he has responsibilities, so he works hard to maintain his family. It is very difficult to keep the high standard of living in this age, so one must work very hard and engage one's son in the same way. In spite of very bad experience with material life, still one engages his son in the same way. This happens again and again, so it is like chewing the chewed things. Once I have chewed sugar cane and taken its juice, it is thrown out in the street, and if someone wants to taste it to see how sweet it is, he is chewing the chewed. Similarly, we don't have very good experience with this materialistic life, this hard struggle for life. But human beings, as it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, are born of the quality of passion. There are 3 qualities in the material world: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Because people are in the mode of passion, they love to work very hard. That hard work is considered happiness. In London, you will see everyone engaged in hard work. In the morning, all the buses and trucks travel with great speed, and people go to the office or factory from morning until late at night. They work hard, and it is called advancement of civilization. Some of them are frustrated. They don't want it. There will be frustration. After all, it is hard work. Hogs too are working hard day and night, thinking, "Where is stool? Where is stool?" That is their business. Therefore, in one sense, this kind of civilization is a hog and dog civilization. It is not human civilization. Human civilization means sobriety. One should be inquisitive. A human being should be inquisitive to know these things. Who am I? Why am I put into this condition of working very hard to get only a few grains? Why am I in this uncomfortable situation? Where did I come from? Where do I have to go? The Vedanta Sutra begins by stating that a human being should be inquisitive to know who he is, where he comes from, and where he has to go. Krishna consciousness is for those who have come to detest this material world. They are good candidates for developing Krishna consciousness. They will inquire why these men are working so hard and what their goal in life is. That is answered in Srimad Bhagavatam. People are working so hard Because they do not actually know what the goal of life is. Everyone says that he's looking after his self-interest, but he does not know what his self-interest is. Nateviduh svarthagatim hi Vishnu. He should know what his real self-interest is to make progress towards Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They do not know this. Why don't they know this? Because they have hopes which are very difficult to fulfill. I may hope for something which is possible, that is good. But if I hope for something which is never possible, that is hope which will never be fulfilled. We are a composition of the external and internal energies of God. The gross external energy is this gross material body, and the subtle external energy is the mind, ego, and intelligence. Behind both energies, the gross external energy and the subtle external energy, is the soul, the internal energy. This body is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. This is called gross external energy, and there is also a subtle external energy of the mind, intelligence, and false ego. And behind that, the soul is there. I am the proprietor of this body, just as one is covered by a shirt and coat, which are external to his real body. Similarly, we are covered by this gross body made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, which is the gross external energy of God or Krishna, and the mind, ego, and intelligence, which are subtle. Thus we are covered. I may think that simply by having a nice shirt and a coat I can be happy, but is it possible? Unless you can eat nicely, unless you can sleep nicely, unless you have your sense gratification, will you be happy simply by putting on a costly shirt and coat? No, that is not possible. We want to be happy by adjustment of this external energy. That cannot be. You are spirit soul. You must have spiritual food. You must have spiritual life, and then you can be happy. As you cannot be happy simply by having a nice shirt and a coat, simply by the materialistic way of life, similarly, you cannot be happy. There's a gross matter and subtle matter. Gross matter includes high skyscraper buildings, machines, factories, nice roads, good cars, etc. Subtle matter includes nice songs, poetry, philosophy. People are trying to be happy with this gross and subtle material existence. That cannot be. Why have people accepted this sort of civilization? Because they are led by blind leaders. We are conducting this Krishna Consciousness movement and very few are interested. But suppose we advertise some falsehood. If you follow this path, within 6 months you will become God and you will be all powerful. Many people would come. This is actually one blind man leading other blind men. Suppose one blind man says, "All right, come follow me, I shall help you crossing this busy Mulberry Street." He's blind, and the followers are also blind. The result will be that they will be hit by some car or truck and they will all die. We do not know that we are bound by the stringent laws of material nature. How can we become free from this material bondage? We have to take instruction from those who are not blind, whose eyes are opened and who are liberated from this material bondage. One must take instruction from such persons, and then he will understand his self-interest. Otherwise, if one who is blind takes instruction from a blind man, it will not be possible for him to be liberated from material bondage. What is self-interest? Why is the interest of a child when he is crying is unknown? It is searching after the mother's breast. Anyone who knows this immediately brings the child to its mother. Take care of your child, he is crying. The mother takes him to her breast, and the child is immediately happy. The child cannot express what he wants, so he simply cries. But one who knows what he is crying for helps him, and the child becomes happy. Similarly, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are actually crying for Krishna. But these false leaders, these blind leaders who do not know, are giving stone instead of bread. How can one be happy? I have exactly explained the gross external energy and the subtle external energy. External energy, which is gross and subtle. He has already explained. Those who are interested in this gross and subtle external energy will never have their ambition of life fulfilled. One who is interested in Vishnu and in showing the path of Vishnu is the real friend. One who is giving Krishna consciousness is the real friend of the world. No others can give happiness to human society. That is the explanation given by Prahlad Maharaj. You cannot manufacture a process of happiness by tackling this material energy. That is not possible because the material energy is not under your control. It is controlled by the Supreme. How can you overpower the material energy? It is not possible. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible to overcome the stringent laws of material nature. Krishna says, it is my energy. I am the controller. But one can surrender unto me. All the material activities of the cosmic manifestation are going on just to bring the rebellious souls back to Godhead. That is the situation. Maya's stringent laws are there. Why? What is the purpose of the police force or the military force? The purpose is to keep the citizen obedient to the state. If a citizen is disobedient to the state law, he is immediately put into police custody. Similarly, anyone who has rebelled against the superiority of God is put under these stringent laws of material nature, and he must suffer. That is the position. Therefore, his self-interest is to seek out the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrender unto Him. That will make him happy. Otherwise, if he simply tries to accept material things and become happy, that is not possible. Prahlad Maharaj gives a hint as to how one can seek out the path of Vishnu or Krishna consciousness. He says that we have created so many unnecessary things and become entangled by them. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that we should desire to get out of this unnecessary trouble and to be free from the problems which are created. This morning I saw a picture of Berlin, which was sent by one of my disciples. I have been to Berlin and to Moscow, and both are very nice cities. Berlin is a very nice city, and London is also a very nice city. But why do people engage in fighting and bombing every other city? Why has this happened? Because they have lost their interest in Vishnu, in God. Therefore they are thinking, you are my enemy, and I am your enemy. And they fight like cats and dogs. But as soon as we come to the Vishnu understanding, the Krishna understanding, these advanced cities, these advanced civilizations can be maintained very nicely. You'll be happy, you'll eat nicely, dance nicely, live nicely, and go back home, back to Godhead. Enjoy this life and the next life. That is our request. Everyone should take the Krishna Consciousness movement seriously and try to understand it seriously. It is authorized on the Vedic principle. It is not something manufactured or unauthorized. We are opening centers in different parts of the world to give an opportunity for people to understand their real life interest. Vishnu, Krishna. That is our mission. Kindly help us and join us. Oh, and one more thing. To read, purchase, or download this book, you can just click on the link in the description of the episode. So this was Shravanam Diaries. We are diving into the most amazing literature written by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So stay tuned, and this will be an incredible journey. If you have any feedback, please email us at sravanamteam@gmail.com. And also, if there's any questions, we'd love to answer them by quoting from these wonderful books. So don't be shy. We'll be glad to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Hare Krishna.